All right, top pro office observations. This is our third installment of this. If you missed the last two, check out the last 2 months presentations. And we know success leaves clues, and that's what we're tapping into here. And these are real photos from top agent offices, so audio and visual tools. There are no secret agents here. They are creating materials and sharing them out there. They have cameras, microphones, lights, green screens, all of these things at the ready in their office. So three key things to point out. Video communicates emotions. Fonts do not. People like to see your face, see what you're saying, and they resonate with that. In fact, so much so that viewers feel like they know you from watching that video, and that's one of that first steps to trust. So getting that video out there can be super helpful with that first step to building trust. And if you're not sure what to say, grab that QR code or go to the URL down there, 20millionreferrals.com/sellers thinking. And it gives you all sorts of questions that sellers might be thinking. And we know with all the changes in the market, and as always, you list to last. So really focused on getting those listings is huge. But record answers to some of those questions and put those out there as a resource to help those potential future clients, or maybe even those people within your sphere, to know more about the process. And those are videos that you can even share as you start engaging with some clients to say, hey, here's a helpful video to ... And as always, with video, remember that the goal is connection, not perfection. It's just like we talked about with that agent story. Don't overcomplicate it. It does not have to be perfect. Don't spend 6 hours trying to do your first video like I did, because it's not worth it. Just get the information out there and be helpful and connect with your sphere. All right, and again, just a reminder, the reason why we're looking at all of these office observation is to help you design your environment to make good habits obvious and visible. And that again comes from James Clear of Atomic Habits. Okay, we are wrapping up here because we're getting close to the end. Just got a couple more things to cover, and I can stick around and answer any questions that those of you have once we finish up. All right, so we've been talking about brain chemistry and shifting our focus to building bonds and trust by leveraging what's naturally going on. And so the next step in that phase is to talk about some practical tools, where we've talked about how important it is for our sphere to be seen, and then also to be heard and understood to really start developing that trust. Because without that trust there, even if we talk about all the value we provide, how can they necessarily know or believe that we can deliver on that without that trust being established? And we know it makes all of those difficult conversations we have to have along the way that much easier. So 3 practical tools for you to try. AWE. This is just simply when you're asking open-ended questions to allow your clients to talk through what's going through their mind, and even just asking them what's on your mind. And we have a list of potential questions there that are open-ended that you can download. That'll be available after this meeting. But then ask, and what else? That's AWE. And what else? Just allow them to go further. You may even ask this a couple of times in the conversation to really try to get to the root of what's going on or what's on their mind with the transaction that's facing them. The second is listening to label. And when you're listening to them talk, when you respond, make sure you're labeling the emotion or concern that you think you're hearing to help confirm that you heard and understood them correctly, or that you're hearing them and understood them correctly. So for example, in this situation, I may say, so if I'm hearing you correctly, you are fearful that we may not get X price for your home on the market. So the emotion is fearful. Maybe I'm right or wrong, but don't worry if you're right or wrong on the label, because people will love to correct you and it'll just give you more information about what they're really thinking. And then mirroring, the last tool. This is simply just when you're listening and you need a little more info, simply repeat the last word that they may have said as a question. So client says, hey, Julie, we really need to sell our home quickly. You would simply respond quickly, and they say, yes, we need to sell in the next 30 days. That gives you that additional information, and you repeating that word shows them that, hey, Julie was really listening in this situation. So try those 3 simple tools to help people feel heard going forward. All right, last couple of things here. I mentioned already that football season is back, so maybe you want to leverage that since it does affect all sorts of people's lives in terms of whether it's some tailgate pop-bys, maybe you're hosting a tailgate or a watch party for certain groups or alumni that you know are in your sphere. Maybe you support a local athletic program in some way, or if you're into it, you can join, or sponsor a fantasy football league, a great way to stay in contact with people on a regular basis throughout the fall and have a little fun too.